Today's a good day. The weekend's right around the corner, your aim is perfect, your reflexes are inhuman, and you're practically just feeling it today. It's time to finally hit that #1 rank you've been eyeing for a while. But suddenly, everything stops. But what really happens after that moment? Do cheaters just disappear into thin air? Or is there a whole world of drama, denial, and desperate comebacks that nobody talks about? Today, we're diving into a few of these so-called legends, or should I say losers, and their cheating scandals. And trust me, you're going to want to see how it all goes down. Let's start with Celesta. We've covered him before on our channel too. Yeah, that guy. Celesta was your normal, average Twitch streamer, streaming Valorant for the little audience he had gathered at the time. And he was insane, a little too insane. He started playing around episode 1, act 2 of the game, till episode 2, act 2, according to his tracker at least. And his lowest rank? Immortal 3. He casually used to hit headshots like it's normal routine. My guy had a 53.4% headshot percentage when most pros average between 20 to 30%. Sounds like God-gifted aim. This stat alone should have thrown up red flags at Riot HQ. Celesta also frequently played in games against players like Shroud, and witnessing the generational aim firsthand, the GOAT of CS had this to say.
Dude, I was feeling inspired by that Guardian player. Who was that?
I don't know, but he's one of the best in the game.
Celesta.
Give him a year, give him 2 years.
He'll be in the pro scene, fact. Or banned.
So if Shroud himself felt inspired by Celesta's aim and jokingly predicted his ban, you can see where this train's headed. Shroud even did his best Celesta impression using the Guardian the way Celesta does. He even peaked Radiant 65 on the North America leaderboards. Anyhow, continuing his kill rampage, Celesta was streaming his game like normal on his Twitch channel, popping headshots, carrying his team, you know the drill. He queued onto the map Split and played Reyna when suddenly, in the middle of the match, his game abruptly ended with a red warning from Riot's anti-cheat system Vanguard, stating that a cheater had been detected and removed. Following after, a message showed up confirming that he was the one who got banned permanently, with the news not only visible to his teammates and opponents, but also broadcasted live to his viewers. This isn't new, of course. For those that don't know, Riot's Vanguard system is known for its aggressive detection capabilities, sometimes banning players mid-game in front of entire lobbies. When such a ban happens, a red warning message appears, notifying everyone that a cheater has been caught. At the time of this incident, on April 14th, 2021, Vanguard's detection ability was still being improved, and it later came to light that the ban was not an automatic trigger by Valorant's Vanguard itself, but was reportedly the result of multiple manual reports from other players who witnessed Celesta's god aim in-game. This made it clear that Celesta was suspected of cheating for some time, even before the ban was placed on him, but still, W Vanguard nonetheless. His downfall quickly went viral, marking the fall of a Radiant who once stood among Valorant's elite. Viewers had already been suspicious of Celesta's gameplay. Clips were being circulated showing him aim-locking to enemy heads, and seemingly firing without even physically clicking his mouse button. Did he have Elon's Neuralink chip in his brain? I guess we'll never know. To give you a taste of what we're talking about, here's a clip.
You sure? I think
Yeah, it's pretty blatant. The viral clip showed these bizarre aim moments clearly, adding fire to the already burning speculations even before the official ban message appeared. Coming back to his ban, as the message popped up, Celesta gave a muted reaction, a half-hearted, "What? Really, dude?" Brother, you're literally smiling and smirking. You know what you've been doing all this time. After getting the ban, Celesta's reputation was significantly affected. The ban raised questions about how long he had been cheating and whether that was the sole reason how he achieved his Radiant rank and high elo placement. The Valorant community and anti-cheat watchdogs widely circulated the banned footage, adding a plethora of negative impact on himself and his career. And what's even worse is that instead of issuing an apology or denying the allegations, he embraced the notoriety as a title and tried to be cool about it. He retweeted memes about his ban, absorbed the attention he got, and even joked in his Twitter bio about using the spacebar to shoot. Pathetic. Though he never openly admitted to cheating, the evidence, both from Riot and from countless gameplay clips we just watched, was difficult to disregard. So where is he now? Well, there's no detailed public information about Celesta's activities or career after the ban, but given how harsh Valorant's bans are and the community's reaction that followed after, it is very likely that his competitive and streaming career in Valorant simply ended. The ban effectively erased his standing as a respected high-ranked player and streamer in the Valorant community. Two birds with one stone, and only himself to blame. To this day, the clip of Celesta getting banned mid-match, followed by his reaction, remains one of the most infamous Valorant cheating scandals in the game's history. Next, we have Paximo. Coming from humble beginnings, Paximo was a Valorant streamer who started his online career and presence on Twitch in March 2021. His channel accumulated 2,866 followers. For someone that streamed 32 times in his career, that's a pretty nice number. His streams weren't that long either, with most streams not even being an hour long and a few crossing that mark. And to follow it up, his streaming activity was relatively short-lived, as his last recorded live session was on July 20th, 2021, approximately 4 years ago. So if everything's normal, what went wrong? Well, his brief streaming career ended abruptly following a controversy. You see, even though Paximo had started to build a following, he gained notoriety in the Valorant scene after being caught cheating live on stream. Why does it always come to this? I'll break it down for you. The incident occurred while he was attacking the A site on the map Icebox, playing as Reyna. During this match, Vanguard detected his use of cheats, specifically wall hacks, which allow players to see opponents through walls. As a result, he was suddenly banned mid-match, with the ban prompt appearing live for his viewers to witness. Upon realizing he was the one who got banned, Paximo immediately ended his stream and deleted the VOD in an attempt to erase evidence of his cheating. But oh, the internet is very beautiful, and once something is out there, it's out there forever. His efforts were unsuccessful, as the Anti-Cheat Police Department, a popular group of people who literally exist to catch and publicize players cheating, had already captured and shared clips of his gameplay and ban on Twitch, making the evidence widely accessible. The Valorant community had mixed reactions, with very few ridiculing the entire thing and calling it fair gameplay, while most others taking a sigh of relief knowing a hacker had just been removed from their beloved game. Most players celebrated Riot's anti-cheat measures, complimenting and acknowledging its effectiveness. The incident became a source of entertainment for the community, as Paximo's attempt to cover up his actions was not only funny, but also drew more attention to his wrongdoing. Oh, but it doesn't end there. In top 10 things you didn't see coming next, Paximo attempted to evade the ban by creating a new Valorant account and resuming his streams. Yes, you heard me right. He literally created another account as if nothing had happened. While I couldn't find any clip or footage of this second account except for this tweet, I think we all can believe it really happened. And to no surprise, Riot's anti-cheat system detected this as well, resulting in an immediate second ban during his subsequent stream. Once again, he ended his stream and tried to delete the VOD, but the community had already documented the events. This repeated failure to evade detection only added more mockery to his name and really hurt his reputation badly. After these incidents, Paximo's streaming career was essentially over. His Twitch channel has not been active for years, and there is no public record of him returning to streaming or competitive gaming under the same name. Not anytime soon, I hope. The bans and public exposure of his cheating really termed him as a notorious cheater and severely damaged his credibility and standing within the Valorant gaming communities. His case is often remembered as a prime example of cheating in Valorant, with his name now primarily associated with one of the game's most publicized cheating scandals. Last, but surely not the least, we have Fox. Fox was a rising amateur Valorant player from the North American region, coming in the limelight both due to his high-level gameplay and as a member of Echo 8, one of the top amateur teams at the time. Alongside his teammate Whack, we'll come back to him in a bit, Fox was preparing for the $25,000 PAX Arena tournament, a big event in the Valorant competitive scene. And being an amateur player, wanting to make a name for himself, getting to play on the big stage itself, it really can't get any better than this. Wack was the first to really get things going. In a TwitLonger post released immediately after the Nerd Street Gamers event, he shared that his mental health was in a rough place and that he was feeling burnt out after spending countless hours on games like Overwatch and CSGO. He had poured his entire life into Valorant, and after learning he was going to be dropped from Echo 8 ahead of the PAX Arena, he felt it was the right time to step away, potentially from the game altogether. To follow suit on July 20th, 2020, out of the blue, Fox, also using a TwitLonger, announced on Twitter or X that he would be taking a break from competitive Valorant due to mental health issues. But what's interesting is that these issues would also arise at the same time as rumors and accusations of him cheating were circulating online. Talk about the perfect timing. And so the Valorant community took this announcement with a pinch of salt. While the original TwitLonger post did not open for me, I found an archive of his post from the Wayback Machine, and I'll let you read his statement. Shortly after this post was made, Matt Paoletti, an anti-cheat developer at Riot Games, responded to Fox's TwitLonger with, "If you come back, please don't cheat next time," publicly confirming that Fox had been banned for cheating, directly contradicting Fox's statement for leaving the competitive scene temporarily. That's a pretty bold statement to make on someone's TwitLonger, if you ask me. This sparked arguments online with everyone wanting to give their 2 cents on the matter. The situation escalated further when Walk, Fox's teammate, initially tried to defend Fox. In a tweet, he basically claimed that he and Fox were the best to ever play the game during their time, and that if they returned, they'd rise to the top once again. Yeah, sure, buddy. Following this, and the criticism he received online, Walk tried to play it smooth in hopes that he could fool everyone. The gist of his tweet was, "Do I really need to reinstall the game just to prove I wasn't banned? I really was just trying to take a break. Reinstalling the game to show I didn't get banned as we speak." But as the allegations and accusations started to increase, it started to become just a tad bit harder to keep hiding behind the curtain. Not only would Walk come out to admit that he was banned, but would also claim that Fox had gotten banned too. Fox would then release a tweet titled "Final State" with a TwitLonger link attached to explain his perspective and actions. While he admitted to cheating and acknowledged both the ban and its consequences, he did not provide details about the type of cheats that he and Walk used. The TwitLonger was a mix of apology, explanation, and frustration with the community's reaction, but it did not change the fact that the Vanguard system had ultimately caught. To quote Thanos himself, "Destiny does indeed arrive." The Valorant community reacted with a general sense of anger and disappointment. And honestly, the amount of drama this incident has and how long it was dragged for, I really don't blame them. Many pointed out the irony and hypocrisy in Fox's previous claims about his skill and precise gunplay, and questioned the tournaments he had played before, especially those that had money on the line. Reddit threads and social media were filled with harsh criticism. I'll let you read a few for yourself. Neither Echo 8 nor any of the other players were involved in the cheating, and it was reported that they were unaware of Fox and Walk's actions themselves. The scandal, sadly, however, made the team appear suspicious despite their lack of involvement. I really wish the other players on the roster and the org didn't have to go through this. As a result, Echo 8 was forced to make roster changes ahead of the PAX Arena Invitational. Oh, and speaking of the precise gunplay I mentioned earlier, let me show you what I meant by that. Hilariously, this tweet is also titled "Precise Gunplay," and my guy has the guts to not even delete it. It's still there on his X account as I'm writing this script. I'm sure Tens is watching this somewhere and taking notes on how to aim. As to where they are now, there's no evidence in current 2025 Valorant esports databases, roster updates, or major news outlets that can confirm whether Fox or Walk have returned to professional Valorant play, or are involved with any notable team or organization. Both players were permanently banned by Riot Games in 2020, and since then, their names have not appeared in official tournament statistics, transfer records, or pro scene coverage for the years to follow, marking the end of their professional Valorant careers. While Fox's Twitter account is still publicly accessible, his last tweet was on March 4th, 2022. Walk's account, on the other hand, appears to have been suspended. Additionally, neither is mentioned in recent articles nor in summaries of roster changes for the current VCT season. All this evidence suggests that both players are not only still banned, but have not re-entered the competitive scene in any way. There's also no proof that either has become a notable streamer in the Valorant community, and their public profiles have remained inactive in esports circles. This scandal in particular remains one of the most publicized and documented cheating incidents in Valorant esports history. It is frequently brought up in discussions about cheating, both for the boldness of the players involved and the way Riot clapped back at them. I hope by now you're seeing the pattern that all cheaters immediately follow after being caught. They always start with denial, claiming they didn't do anything, or they're innocent, or just trying to play it cool. But when they finally admit to it and receive the penalty they rightfully deserve, they'll just quietly disappear in hopes of being forgotten. Either way, the message is loud and clear. Cheating in Valorant leads to quick and severe consequences, both from Riot and the community. For most, the story ends with a ban and a publicly disgraceful exit from the competitive scene. However, for the ones tempted to take the easy way to the top, it becomes a clear warning. With that being said, I hope shedding light on all these scandals made you think a little. As always, play safe and fair, my fellow gamers.